Hey, and welcome back to a new episode of Lore Keeper, the series where we dive into the lore behind Ether, Dark Ether, and now Chaos. In this episode, I'll be discussing the truth behind Patient 13. The island of Terminus has a rich history of death and despair, which only increased when Project Janus acquired the island in the mid-1980s. Becoming one of their prime research sites, Director Richtofen provided the island to a controversial figure, Dr. Revati Modi. She's had quite the track record, and her experiments were considered inhumane and torturous. So in the end, she was the perfect choice for Richtofen's desires. Her objective was to generate a human being from a single piece of given DNA. She, of course, took things to the next level, creating monstrous creatures such as the parasites, the vermin, and the amalgams. An employee at Terminus Island, Owen Guthrie, who did inventory over their latest incoming test subjects, has begun to feel the guilt over his work. A recent subject, Nathan Aguinaldo, who was sent to the island due to asking too many questions about his involvement with his line of work, has become Owen's favorite. Unfortunately, Nathan had a rebellious personality, refusing to take his meds, eat his meals, or follow any instruction. Owen tried his best to protect Nathan from any unwanted gazes, but if he were to get too involved, then Owen would risk his own job. He puts in a request to be transferred off of Terminus. But it was unfortunately too late for Nathan. He would be transferred to Dr. Modi's amalgam program. Owen's guilt only continued to grow, but even if he was there when they took Nathan away, it's not like he could have or would have done anything. This place breaks people, both prisoner and employee. Putting his foot down, Owen gains new motivation to reveal the truth of this place and of Dr. Modi's twisted experiments. Even if it means his own arrest and punishment for simply working here, he's willing to do what it takes to bring this place to justice. For the next several months, Owen begins collecting evidence to help in his newfound purpose. You can find his collection of found evidence on the half-submerged boat just off the main island. Inside are documents from both Director Richtofen and Dr. Modi. However, despite his efforts to do good, he was caught. Dr. Modi had discovered him and his intentions. Aware of his transferal request, Dr. Modi used this to her advantage. His fellow co-workers were told that Owen was transferred to another site without saying as much as goodbye. But in reality, Owen had just become her latest test subject for one of her most twisted experiments. Pumped with, as she describes it, table scraps, Owen becomes her longest surviving patient, his form changing to something grotesque, barely even human anymore, only growing in size. To further taunt him as his remaining sentience slowly fades away, she places him in a high-traffic area, so that he can see all of his ex-coworkers unaware of his new, disturbing, and disgusting form, and unable to cry out for help. On top of that, to remove more of his remaining humanity, she stopped referring to him by his real name. To her, he was now Patient 13. He was her greatest creation, a giant, grotesque, Lovecraftian monster with more tentacles than one could count. When a sudden, dimensional outbreak occurred at all of Project Janus's facilities, Patient 13 would break free of whatever contained it, now wreaking havoc on the shores of Terminus Island. When Weaver, Maya, Carver, and Gray forced Dr. Modi to return to the facility from her inversion warhead-powered submarine, Patient 13's tentacles wrapped around the vehicle, dragging Dr. Modi to the bottom of the ocean floor. Finally, Patient 13 got its revenge on the Doctor who turned them into the monster they've become. However, crushing the submarine caused the inversion warheads to leak its etheric energy, soaking into the already gigantic and deadly monster. Rising back above the waters, Patient 13 was bigger and stronger than before, and through impossible odds, Weaver, Gray, Maya, and Carver put Patient 13 at rest. Owen Guthrie's suffering was finally at an end. Owen tried to right his wrongs, but when on Terminus Island, freedom comes at a cost. But in the end, Dr. Modi met her demise. No one will suffer by her hands anymore. And that's everything on Patient 13. In the future, I'll make a proper video on Terminus Island and its history, but for now, that's all. Thanks for watching as always, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.